Alrighty, welcome everyone to our Monday night team call. We are super excited to just wrap up January. It's been an amazing month so far, and we've had an awesome shred program. And don't blink because we're going to be jumping right into the next shred here pretty quickly. And February is a short month, and so we really want to equip you guys with business tools that are going to help you get results faster, especially with sharing the business and sharing the mission with people. And we know with all of our hearts that sharing on three-way calls and connecting people to other people in our business is one of the best, longest lasting tools that have been around since this business model has existed. And I've used them for years with my upline, Kurt. I've used them with sidelines, with downlines, and they really are powerful. And so tonight, Casey and I are going to share a little bit about three-way calls with you guys and the purpose and who to invite and just how to really dig in and make them work for you. And then at the end, we're going to give you a couple scenarios, and we're going to have volunteers from the audience come on and pretend to be a customer or pretend to be a rep that's connecting them to us upline. And we're going to just show you kind of what it looks like in real life. And if you have a scenario or have a something that you're wanting to do, like volunteer so that you can like play it out and see what it's going to be like for you. So who are three-way calls for? They are for business prospects, especially business prospects. I mean, when you're newer in the business, we want you to bring people to us to share the business with them. Your goal is to just ask if they're open and connect them to us as a resource to really flesh out that conversation. Customer prospects, especially when you are a VF and below, that's really for you to bring customer conversations to a three-way call. If you are SC or above, a lot of times you can just manage a lot, getting customers yourself. But if there's a specific instance where it's a doctor or maybe someone medical or someone with a specific health issue, then that would be appropriate person for you to get on a three-way call. And then of course we do three-way calls for our team, for coaching, for welcoming and doing strategy calls with our new teammates, and doing coaching calls sometimes looks like more than one sponsor upline on the call with a rep. And so those are kind of the scenarios we use them for. I'm going to talk a little bit about inviting. When people tell me that three-way calls don't work or they can't get anyone on them, my first question is, how many people have you asked lately to do a three-way call? Because typically the answer is, maybe 3 or 5, they've asked these 3 people or these 5 people and it didn't work out for any of them. And ultimately what we have seen is that when you're trying to get people on three-way calls, if you have a goal to get someone on a three-way call once a week, you need to be inviting multiple people each week to get on a three-way call, because that with schedules and with people's busy lifestyle and it's kind of a process to get them on the three-way call, that it's just not going to be feasible that every person you ask is going to say yes. So if you're getting no's and you're getting discouraged, just know you need to up your number of people you're asking to get on three-way calls, which means you need to up your conversations. And we're going to talk a little bit more about when in the conversation to bring up the three-way call here in a little bit. We want to encourage you, when you're inviting to three-way calls, don't call it a three-way call. Just like nix that from your vocabulary. People think it sounds weird or kitschy or, sketchy. And so call it a connection call, or say, hey, I'd love to introduce you to my friend Casey. You guys have both played soccer. It's really awesome that, she's my best friend. You would love her. I'd love her to get on and share her story with you. Okay. Or you could say, I'd love to have my friend Casey join us to help you get your questions answered. She's a holistic health coach. She's been, doing this for 7 years. She has a lot more information, or that's the person I go to for questions. And so I want to make sure we get your questions answered. And so that's how you can bring them on. You can also invite them last minute. So you can schedule the time with them and say, okay, find out when they're available Tuesday, Thursday. They say Thursday, you get it nailed down for Thursday. And either Wednesday or Thursday, like an hour or so before the call, you can say, hey, I know we're going to talk in an hour. I just wanted to see if it would be okay if my friend Casey got on the call with us. She happens to be free last minute, and she's such a great resource. I know you're going to have some really great questions, and I feel like we want to, use our time wisely, and I'd love to bring her on. You'd love her story. Would that be okay? And so then, that's like a message. You can shorten it, but that's another way to bring the option up for a three-way call. And then when you're scheduling it, you want to say, you want to give them two options. You want to say, hey, would Tuesday or Thursday be good for you? And if they say Thursday, then you say, okay, what time? I'm available. Would 2 to 4 or, 5, it's only 30 minutes. So would 2 o'clock or 6 o'clock work for you? So you just want to narrow down. You don't want to say, hey, when can you do this call? Because anytime someone asks me a vague question like that, I don't have my calendar right there, it takes me so much longer to get back to them, because I'm like, all the possibilities are out there. But if they say just Tuesday or Thursday, I can look at Tuesday and I look at Thursday and I can be like, well, Tuesday's out, but Thursday's a possibility. So it just helps them when you narrow it down for them. And so that's what we have about inviting. For the actual call, here's what you're going to do. You're going to provide your sponsor with the information about the person in advance. So a day, 2, 3 days in advance, you're going to tell them about your prospect. So the easiest way to do this is on Voxer. You can just leave them a message. We want to know what's their name. Tell us about their family situation. Are they parents? Are they, what's their living? Are they parents? Are they single? Do they work? What do they do for work? Do they have any health issues? How do you know them? What's their current career? Tell us why you thought of them. What made you want to share the business or the product with them? And then what is your goal for getting them on this call with me? So that's really what you need to have in mind when you bring us a person to do a three-way call with. The other thing is, we want you to get on the phone with the sponsor or the person doing the three-way call for you. You want to get on the call within 5 minutes prior to the call. So your call's at 2, you want to get on the phone with them at 1:55 and just talk through any last minute questions, because they may have, like me, I talk to so many people, I just need a refresher, like remind me, and then I'll be like, okay, I got it. And then I'll be really clear-headed and able to just jump right into the call. And then if you don't know how to do a three-way call on an iPhone or an Android, it's the same. You basically you're on the phone already with your sponsor or sideline, whoever's doing the call. And when you look at your phone, it'll say add call. You press add call, you find their number, you call that person. And then once they answer, that same button will say merge call, and you press merge call and you'll all three be on the line. I wanted to remind you that when your person is your sponsor or your sideline's talking, you want to mute your line in case you have any background noise, or just so that the line is really clear for them to understand. But before you do that, you want to introduce your sponsor to them or the person and say, hey, this is my friend Michelle. You kind of make a commonality connection, like, she's the one who had knee surgery that I told you about, wink, wink. And so you remind them, like, hey, this is the person I wanted to introduce you to. Why would they, connect with me? And then let your sponsor or sideline take over. Like, your biggest role on a three-way call, if you're connecting someone, is to listen and learn, because one day you're going to need to do it for your team. And listening is the way that I learned how to do it, because I listened to Kurt Beavers do it over and over and over again. And I learned what he did, and I learned how he asked questions, and really wanted to make that person feel heard. And so I encourage you to just listen. I know you're going to want to jump in, but that kind of breaks up the conversation, unless there's something really important that I don't know as a sponsor, or that you really feel needs to be known, or something like that. it's really good just to let the sponsor kind of handle it, and then you jump in at the end to thank them and then continue on with next steps. A lot of times at the end of a call, I'll be like, okay, sounds like you're ready to get started. Do you want to do it over the phone, or do you want Casey to send you a link? And they're like, oh, well, I can do it now. I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to get off here. You guys stay on the call, and Casey's going to get your info, and your Juice Plus is going to be here in a few days, and it's going to be awesome. And so that's kind of how you end the call, depending on what the next steps are. So I'm going to hand it over to Casey to talk more about just when we introduce the connection call and what that should look like.
Thanks. Yeah, super pumped to share this with you guys. Three-way calls have really been the lifeblood of not just getting customers, but getting business partners. And so we've really want to help equip you guys. And a big piece of that when we are going to introduce a connection call is qualifying the person. We don't want to get someone on the phone who isn't going to be a good person to have a conversation with. So how do we qualify someone? I'm going to reference back real quick to especially if you're new or you missed the call, December 10th, we had an amazing call that we played a recording from Fraser Brooks. He's a little interesting, but he really talks about qualifying and what it looks like to get someone to qualify for a call. So what does qualifying mean for a call? Qualifying for a call literally means that you have, you've dripped on them enough by sharing a couple of videos with them and getting some feedback from them that you realize that Juice Plus makes sense. You've confirmed it with them, that they really resonate with the mission. They really resonate with what's in Juice Plus. They know the difference, that it's not a vitamin. They really see the benefit of it. And when you find yourself getting to the point that they're going to start asking harder questions like, what is the cost? Maybe they have some concerns because they're pregnant or they're nursing or they have some family health history. They're asking more about the research, or specifically if they're wanting to know more about the business. This is a great time to say, wow, you have a lot of amazing questions. And since I am still learning the best way I can to serve all of my customers, with all the right answers, I would really love to be able to connect you or introduce you to my girlfriend, Michelle. She has been with this company for 8 years. She's had amazing health. If they're talking specifically about health and Juice Plus, then I would say she's had some amazing health transformations across the board, ranging from surgery recovery to immunity improvement to healthy pregnancy. And so I'd really love to connect you with her because she's going to have the answers that you're looking for. And I don't want to, do you a disservice and not get you, all the right details. And then I introduce that call. Or if they're asking questions about the business, same thing. You know what? These are all really great questions, but I can be honest with you and say that I won't know all the answers you're looking for and that you deserve to get the right, details. I would really love if we could connect with my girlfriend, Michelle. She's been with this company for over 8 years and she knows the ins and the outs, and you will really love her. I kind of connect them with why they would really resonate with her. You'll really love her because just like you, she's a mom, or you really love her because, gosh, her energy and your energy is so identical. You guys just would break the roof off. So, I really connect that's right. I really connect the person with who I'm going to introduce them to, because I want that wall to come down. I want them to feel comfortable with who I'm connecting them with. So I connect some piece of their life with the person that I want to connect them with their life. And so it might just look something as simple as like, oh, Michelle was an athlete. They don't need to know necessarily what kind of athlete she was, but she was an athlete. She has history of being an athlete. I see Michelle laughing. Michelle was a cheerleader, if anybody doesn't know. That cheerleaders are athletes, okay? All right. So, I'm connecting them with something, right? And so that's when also, if you're not sure, you can always screenshot. I mean, that is truly, as you're new into the business, you should be screenshotting your conversations into your Voxer chat to get feedback from your upline. They send some hard questions. You're like, ooh, screenshot, send it to my upline. Hey, I'm not sure how to respond. I feel like this would be a good time to offer like a connection call. How can I approach this? And your upline is going to help you walk through that. And so just know that that's what we're here for. And you're going to get the best experience by sending those screenshots to us. So Michelle, I know that we're going to kind of go into specific scenarios, and so I didn't know if you wanted to take over.
Yeah. So our first scenario is someone who has a specific health issue. So who wants to be our volunteer? You can pick if you want to be the person with the health issue or if you want to be the person that's the rep connecting.
I see Nicole Fisher's face just light up.
Okay, I'll help you out.
Okay. Which one do you want to be?
I can be either. Doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll be the prospect with the health issue.
Okay.
Okay. Ring, ring, ring. Wait, first, what's your health issue? We need to know what that is first.
Let's get a little background on our prospect. Prospect has an autoimmune disease that they're struggling with and are looking for holistic scenarios. She's a mom of 3.
Okay.
Wait, and what role am I playing?
You're the rep, connecting her to me.
Oh, okay, great. Okay.
Okay. Hey, Nicole. I'm excited to talk to your friend Casey today.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. Casey, just to remind you, Casey has this autoimmune issue that she's been struggling with. I know that you can really speak into this. So, so I'm reminding you, right? Yeah. So she's 32. She's a mama of 2 kids. She works as a nurse. She has this autoimmune disease, and we've talked a lot about nutrition, and I really am hoping that she'll catch the vision for this business because she would love to maybe come down to working part-time. So I'm hoping that you can speak some wisdom into just her health issues and kind of what this business vision can do for her.
Okay, and she hasn't tried Juice Plus yet?
No, she's heard of it, but she hasn't heard great things about it. So what we've been combating is, what people think about Juice Plus versus what it actually is. We've talked about it being a food label, and we've talked about the NSF certification. And so I think she's on the fence. I think she's on the verge of willing to try it. But I think that this 3-way connection will really seal the deal for her.
Awesome. Okay, let's call Casey. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, or Nicole, you would say.
Hi, Casey. So glad that we were able to carve out this time tonight. I'm so excited to introduce you to my friend, Michelle. Let me merge the call really quickly, and I'll get Michelle on the line. So we merge the calls, and then, great. Are you both here?
Yes.
Great. So Casey, I'm really excited to introduce you to my friend, Michelle. Michelle, this is my friend, Casey, and I'm so excited we can talk this evening.
Yeah, me too. Nice to meet you, Casey.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, Michelle. Thanks for taking the time. Yeah, Nicole and I have been talking quite a bit about Juice Plus. I'm a nurse and have a couple children, and the reason why we started talking is because I have been struggling with lupus for a couple of years, and with every child, I feel like my symptoms have gotten worse, and we're talking about nutrition and how it relates to, autoimmune disease and how it could improve it. And so we've talked a little bit about Juice Plus. But I guess, and I've looked a little bit at the research, but I don't know, like with my medical background and with just the stuff that I've read online as well, like, I guess I just am having a hard time seeing if this is a good fit for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad you're looking into it. I think it's awesome to have, someone who has a medical background like you just kind of taking a deeper look, especially if you're, not sure. I think that's why we're here today. And I would love just to kind of hear more. What are your symptoms that you're having with lupus? Are you having a lot of inflammation? Is it fatigue? Is it joint pain? Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I'm definitely dealing with a lot of fatigue. I have 2 kids, so that's probably normal. But I also, I'm really dealing with pain in my feet. I feel like, especially when I'm on my feet all day long after a long work shift, just like my feet are really bothering me. And it's just gotten worse over time. And, I work a lot of hours, and it is really stressful. It's stressful on my body, but of course, it's a lot of hours. So, and I feel like that's probably just, not helping my cause as it is with 2 young kids, and I go home and I have to take care of my 2 young kids. So,
do you have swelling in your feet?
I do have swelling in my feet, and they turned a nice shade of purple gray.
Sorry. So do you have any other health goals that you want to work on besides the autoimmune stuff, or is that kind of your main focus?
I mean, definitely would love to help my kids get healthier, because I try my best to give them healthy food, but just as busy as you are, once or twice a week, we find ourselves grabbing, a quick meal out. Sometimes we're going to the drive-through. And so I know that I could use help for them in this department, but I guess I don't really know if this would be a good fit for them too.
What are their ages?
My kids are 5 and 2.5.
Awesome. Well, from the perspective of if it's a good fit for your kids, do they take any nutrition, vitamins, anything right now?
No, they don't.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I love as a mom is that Juice Plus is safe for pregnancy. It's safe for babies. I have a 9-month-old daughter or 10-month-old now. And I've been giving her the Juice Plus capsule powder. It's safe. It's beneficial. It is, like you are looking into the research, it's the most researched nutrition product in the world. And I love that we have this family health study program. If you were to get started to start working on some of your health challenges and your health goals, then your 5-year-old could actually get Juice Plus chewables for free, which is an awesome program. And our company is so generous. They want to gift you guys Juice Plus free for 4 years, which is something that, speaks volume for the company that we partner with. And I don't know any mama that doesn't want free stuff for her kiddos. That's good nutrition.
Yep. Free is always welcome.
Yeah. And the cool thing too is there's no synthetics, there's no artificial colors or flavors. It's literally fruits and vegetables in a chewable. So if your kids are not wanting the broccoli, you can just give them the chewables, and, you have peace of mind knowing that they're getting what they need every single day.
Okay. Well, I guess one question I have is, from a cost perspective, what are we looking at, every month? If I could sponsor my 5-year-old, then obviously I couldn't, my 2.5-year-old wouldn't be getting any. So what would that look like for myself? Like what are my options?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of options that we have depending on your budget and depending on who in the family that you're wanting to get started. But I wanted to circle back real quick and tell you that because, with your lupus and the inflammation and the swelling, we actually have some of the research studies that Nicole has sent you probably actually show that Juice Plus reduces inflammation. It increases blood flow. It's going to help with that swelling. That's part of my story. I actually have had 5 knee surgeries, and I had a lot of swelling and pain and inflammation, was on anti-inflammatory medications like Celebrex. And by using Juice Plus and the fruits, the vegetables, and the berries, I was able to get off of my medication and heal faster than the doctors expected. And so I'm really encouraged, and I think that it could really benefit you in that way. And so I just wanted to say that in case, you're wondering how it can potentially help your lupus. But the options for ordering are really simple. You can either be a customer, and it's $70 a month for you and your 5-year-old to be on Juice Plus. You're getting 30 fruits and vegetables every single day. Is your 5-year-old a girl or a boy?
I have a 5-year-old girl.
Okay, your daughter is getting 20 fruits and vegetables a day. And so that's right there. I mean, for both of you guys, it's $2.38 a day to get on Juice Plus. And then if you wanted to add your 2.5-year-old, it's only $24 a month for your 2.5-year-old to get on the chewables as well, which is a great deal. We also have the option of just going ahead and, if Juice Plus makes sense to you, if the concept of my family needs more fruits and vegetables, and this is something that it's backed by research and it makes sense, then you can also partner with us and start getting your money back on your own products and have the ability to share with friends or neighbors or family members who also have a void in their nutrition, that need more fruits and vegetables. And then, beyond that, we have opportunities to partner with us that look like, I know you said something about being a nurse, and maybe you want to go part-time eventually, or maybe you don't want to stand on your feet all day. And so we have an opportunity to help you earn an actual part-time or full-time income by sharing health with others. And I know you're already kind of in the health wellness field. So those are kind of the 3 ways that we have to get started. And obviously the 2 last ones, you get money back and it really offsets your cost.
Yeah. Well, that makes more sense. Yeah, it makes sense now, because Nicole had actually shared a recording with me with someone with a medical background. I think her name was Wendy. And it sounded to me like she's with the company maybe, and she's a nurse or a doctor of some sort. And so, it makes sense if you've got medical professionals that are doing this. I guess, my question would be, like, if I wanted to consider sharing it with my friends and family, like, what kind of commitment is that? Because I do work a lot of hours, and then I want to come home and be with my kids. But paying for my product, when it's something that I wasn't planning on spending money on, it could be a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the great thing about Juice Plus is it's only $50 to become a member. So you're $50 and you're getting lots of money. You're getting your money back on all of your products that you order. But as far as time commitment, there's no monthly quotas, there's no minimums. You can truly work it with your busy schedule. We think that people who are busy are best at this business, because you're interacting with lots of people. You're exposed to lots of people with different reasons why they might need Juice Plus. And so you just take it with you, and we're going to guide you and give you the tools that you need to share it. And it's up to you just to decide how many people you want to share. Maybe it just starts with just your family. Maybe it starts with a few friends. But there's no pressure. But we're here if you want to share far and wide. If you want to work towards something more, we can help you do that as well. So, a lot of people try to fit in 15 or 30 minutes a day. That could be a lunch hour or a break in your day. But it's really up to you. How does that sound?
Yeah, I definitely have some family who struggle with autoimmune like me, and it's definitely something that runs in our family. So I think that they could really benefit hearing more about this. So if I'm making money back on my product, then, starting the $50, and that way I could get paid back on my order and my 2.5-year-old's order, right?
Yeah, all your orders.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair option to start with.
Okay, awesome. Well, sounds like you want to go ahead and try the products for you and your kids.
Yeah.
Is that fair? And so if you want to just jump in and go ahead and start earning money back on your order, Nicole can help you get started by doing the membership and help you learn how to place your orders and get you taken care of.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so then I would send it over to Nicole. Nicole would finish up, and, we go on from there. We don't have a lot of time left. We did talk about health scenario, medical, or someone with like a specific background. That's something else we talked about, like someone has medical, nutrition, or a fitness background. You're going to want to get them on a 3-way call with someone.
Can I add something, Mish?
Yes.
I really want to share, guys, just when you listen to the call that Michelle and Nicole and I just did, that Michelle asked a lot of questions. She just kept asking questions. And even when I expressed something, she kind of brought it back around to something that she had asked me about, like what health condition. She brought it back around to talk about that. And literally, Nicole, Michelle, and I were on a call for 15 minutes, maybe less than that. And it actually got to bring up like the option of the business and the 3 options to get started that Kurt talked about in our call last week. And so I just want to note that calls can be short and sweet and super powerful. When we're asking questions, asking hard questions, and just asking questions, then the explanation will come up that's really going to be suitable for them. Mm-hmm. And that's when you're going to have the most success on these calls. And again, like she asked me a lot of questions, and but because Nicole qualified me with a call from a recording from, of course, Wendy Campbell and another video about what the products were, when she talked to me about like the trio, I got it right away. It made sense because we'd already talked through some of that. So I just wanted to talk about how you'd already qualified me so that when we got on this call, like it kept moving pretty quickly because you were asking me questions and I was answering and we went back and forth.
Yeah. And ultimately, as the sponsor, that's your goal, is to get to know the person in a really short amount of time and figure out what drives them and what's going to drive their purchase decision. And so obviously I didn't just stop with, I could have just been like, oh, you have an autoimmune disease, let's just focus on that. I did ask about other health goals because there's always multiple reasons. And if you can layer on, like your child's going to get it for free, and you can find these layers that you can add on to their purchase decision, it's going to make it such a smoother and make more sense for the person to invest their time and their money with us. So I think we should just open it up for any questions or any, if anybody has clarity, or if you want to comment or ask a question on what we just did and what we went through or what we shared at the beginning.
I think it's important to note that as the person inviting the prospect to the three-way call and connecting them to someone else, especially when you're new, you notice that I just muted myself and I didn't say anything. Like I literally did not say a word that entire call. And so I think that can be intimidating whenever you're first starting out because you're not sure what to say. And so just knowing that when you're connecting your prospect to your upline or your sideline or whoever's doing that call for you, you get to sit and learn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can attest to that. I remember very clearly my first three-way call with Michelle, and literally the whole time I muted myself and I was just writing and just writing and just writing the entire time. So I can attest that is what you should do.
Yeah, and if you're sitting there thinking like, well, Michelle's been doing this forever, it's just natural to her. It's not natural, but it's a learned skill. It's something that I learned from years and years of hearing Kurt do it and then doing it. When Casey was one of my first active reps, and I just had to figure it out. I couldn't ask Kurt to do all of my calls for me. And so I just figured it out. I'm sure we botched a few, but there's more fish in the sea. And so we just kept trying, and, you get better and better and better. And now I could probably do it in my sleep because I've just done so many. And yeah, there's times where someone will ask something random and I'm like, you know what? That's a great question. I would love to get that answer for you. Our company has been around for 25 years. We have over 4,000 medical professionals that are partnered with us. And I'm certain that the answer exists. And I will get it to Casey and she can get it to you, next week or something. So it's okay to say you don't know if someone asks a question. And so don't be afraid as a sponsor or as a rep to get someone on the phone because you're worried that, they're going to have questions we don't know answers to. The biggest thing you want to do is make them feel heard and make them feel like what they have to say matters, and that we're trying to provide a solution for them, not just sell them something. We're trying to provide a solution for whatever the health goal or challenge or financial goal or challenges that they have. Anybody else have a last minute question or idea that you want to throw out there? Okay. Well, hopefully that made it a little bit more understandable about what three-way calls look like. And we're just grateful for you guys being on the call tonight. Make sure that if your teammates weren't on, that you let them know about this call, and it's going to be recorded and put in our team Facebook page tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.